Oh, hello there, Mr. Camera. Beautiful day here in, in Belize. We've already set sail from Belize City. As you can tell, we are on our way down to Rotan, Honduras. Right here in the middle of the beautiful Caribbean Sea. Pitch black outside. We've got dinner with dinner.
Yes.
Very, very good dinner. Good little time.
Woo! I'm in the middle of the Caribbean Sea, bitches.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. And it is this girl's birthday tomorrow.
Yes.
32 years old.
I'm gonna be 32 years old.
Tomorrow we have. I gotta be Bay Rotan, Honduras. This is the fun times for tomorrow. I'm gonna do more of that.
Oh god, I hope the audio didn't pick that up.
Anyways,
sorry.
Tomorrow on the schedule, the ultimate excursion, the excursion I've been wanting to do for 2 fucking years. It's finally here. The Stanley submarine's deep sea dived at 2,000 feet, nearly half a mile below sea level in the Cayman Trench.
Yes.
Deepest any public person can go. Here's a little bit of information about that. That is the submarine we're going to be getting in tomorrow. It's going to be a three-hour expedition in Idabel with Carl Stanley. The public's portal to the deep sea since 1998. I printed out like all the information in here. We're going to be seeing like stuff like that. Stuff that you think didn't even exist. Like real alien-like things and
Less
stuff.
than 3% of the world's deep water has been explored.
Yep. Deep sea creatures. This is the location. We're going to be going to the West End, meeting up with Carl Stanley somewhere over here. And here is Cayman Trench. More about the Cayman Trench. We're going to be going. They offer like many tours, 1 to 1,000, 1 to 1,500 feet. You got it on here.
That music is really loud.
Yeah, 1,000, 1,500 feet, 2,000. We're going all the way to the bottom, folks. As deep as you can possibly go, 2,000 feet. It's going to be pretty much pitch black, broad daylight on the surface, but we're going to be so far deep that almost no sunlight's going to be hitting to where we're at. Cannot wait for that. We're going to be seeing, hopefully, maybe some even sharks, some sea lilies, and all kinds of cool looking things. Yes. More about the submarine there. And this is a, I think I said in one of the other videos, it's a homemade submarine. Carl's built this out of many different things, including parts of airplanes and a whole bunch of stuff. And another thing I should say that I haven't said yet is this is completely 100% uninsured. And there's absolutely no radio contact at all when we're in the submarine.
What?
Absolutely nothing at all. It's all go at your own risk, go at your own everything. And he publicizes that very well on his website before you go through and sign up. But that's what makes it so unique. One of the things that makes it so unique. There is Carl Stanley there. We'll be meeting him tomorrow. That's just some information about him. That's more about the 2,000-foot expedition. The price you do not want to look at. Frequently asked questions. Is it safe? The deep diving submersible.
Well, if there's no insurance and no radios, then probably not.
Here it is right here, as I just said. The deep diving submersible Idabel is not classed or insured due to extreme overhead cost and paperwork involved. I personally got involved with submersibles or explored the oceans, not deal with inspectors, lawyers, and insurance agents. I have, however, incorporated most safety systems that any class of insured submersibles would have. The submarine you will be riding in is the result of over 20 years of dedicated effort on my part to design the best vehicle possible. As for the spring of 2008, it is the 2 vessels I have designed and built have made well over 1,000 dives. Worst injury anyone has suffered during this was scratching their forehead in the process of boarding. So I think we'll be okay.
I feel better now.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, but my parents,
my arm
I haven't
hurts.
told my parents that it wasn't insured. I just told them we were doing this. But they can know that after the dive.
Because, they'd freak out.
Yes. And this is also on, it's the receipt there, on the top 10 extreme vacations. The expedition to 2,000 feet. This just explains all the different magazines that he's been a part of too over the years. But yes, absolutely cannot wait for that excursion with Stanley submarines down to nearly half a mile below the sea. There's some other statistics that I've made up Or they rode up here before we left. I'll mention more of these. Yeah, there's our route. We're heading more south down to beautiful country of Honduras. That shows us how in the middle of the sea we are. But yeah, 2,000 feet tomorrow. That's 0.3787878 miles below the surface, almost half a mile. We'll be lower. We'll be lower than the lowest point on Earth, which is the Dead Sea. That's like 1,300 feet. We're going to be nearly 700 feet below that. So we may possibly be the lowest humans at the certain given time tomorrow.
Nice.
At 2,000 feet, lowest humans. Besides possible scientists doing like really extreme expeditions, like the ones that explore the Titanic, where you go like multiple miles below and stuff. But other than that. Oh, and the atmospheric pressure is going to be pretty extreme too, over 900 pounds per square inch at our deepest
So,
depth.
should I take my earplugs?
You might want to, just in case. That's the atmospheric pressure if you were outside in the water, though.
I was gonna
We're not getting
say I
out
don't
in the
want my
water.
ears to explode.
We're not getting out of the submarine at 2,000 feet, if that's what you're asking.
I've never been in a submarine, so I don't know.
Basically, if you get out of the water at a certain depth, especially that deep, it's the equivalent of almost a half a ton going down onto your shoulders.
Ow.
A ton is 2,000 pounds. This is 903 pounds per square inch at our deepest depth. No, I don't think we'd want to be getting out either at that depth.
No.
And it's supposed to be kind of cold too when we get down. It's going to be like 55 degrees, he said. So dress warm for tomorrow. Bring a hoodie.
I have
Be
my
warm at the
SeaWorld
surface.
hoodie.
Colder at the bottom.
Oh,
Other than that,
my
anything
hand
else you want to say to Mr. Camera? Oh, I might explain
Nope.
Go ahead.
You're fine. Go ahead.
I might
I was just
explain
gonna say I'm
the modes of
excited.
transportation that we are away from home. This is something I was thinking of earlier and that we were talking about earlier as well. Is like how many vehicles or modes of transportation that we have taken to get to our point, especially at the ruins earlier today. I think I came up with 8 when we're at the which is pretty close to a record. We'll call them MTs, modes of transportation. Something new that I've kind of made up to get to a certain spot to show how secluded some of these places are that we go. But when we're at the ruins, like the actual sites, I believe I came up with 8 different modes of transportation to get to that site. So we'll say the car to the airport would be 1. 2 would be the airplane. Yes. The airplane to get to Florida. 3 would be the actual cruise ship itself. 4 would be the buses to the water ferry, the cranking ferry, or whatever they call it. 5 would be the cranking ferry. 6 would be the vans. So I guess that's 6. I don't know where I got the other 2.
One of the other ones was the boat from the cruise ship to the land.
Oh, the tenders. Yeah, I left the tenders out. Okay, that's 7. And then 8 would be, our actual drive to your parents' house. So in order to get to actual home, we'll say home is the apartment. So let me try this again. 1 is the drive to your parents' house, which got us there, that's 1. 2 would be your parents taking us to the airport, that's 2. 3 would be the flights to Florida. We'll merge all the flights, even though there's multiple flights into just 1. 4 would be the cruise ship itself, which is where we're at now. 5 would be the buses to Crank Ferry. Crank Ferry would be 6. No, I left the tender out again. Cruise ship is 4. Tender would be 5. The buses to the site would be 6. The crank ferry would be 7, and then the little minivans or whatever you call them to up to the ruins or whatever would be 8, which is like a 2 or 3 minute ride. So yeah, 8 modes of transportation from our actual apartment to the ruins themselves. I believe that might be my highest record. I know we had a pretty high one when we went to that secluded island in Thailand a few years ago, where we went to Koh Pha Ngan, I believe.
I didn't go.
I think that was like 5 or 6, which would be the ride to the airport would be 1, the flights would be 2, merge all those into.
This is running low on battery.
It's fine.
Okay.
It should have like a few minutes left. The flights would be 2 on that one, and then transportation to the catamaran we won't count the train since it was only one way on that. We'll just say it's just ground transportation, vans to the actual catamaran. catamaran to the actual island of Koh Phangan, and then 5.
Oh, I thought you were talking about our trip to Ecuador.
No, the Koh Phangan.
Oh.
And then 5 would have been the 45-minute roller coaster ride across Koh Phangan to what it was called, Bottle Beach, I believe. But 8, which we hit today, which is pretty good. I know it might be confusing as fuck. It was just something I came up with. Modes of transportation to see how secluded we got. But yeah, being on the cruise ship, we're currently at 4, I believe. 4 to get back home. So when we get back on the shore in Miami, we'll have to take a cab to the airports, which would take us back down to 3. The airplanes would take us back down to 2, and then the car ride back home 1. Yeah, it's kind of confusing. I'll explain more of that later when it's less confusing, when I can make more sense of it, but that's kind of what I got from it.
Yeah.
It just shows how secluded and how many different kinds of transportation it takes to get to some of these cool places we've been to. Other than that, anything else you want to say?
I think that's it.
Alrighty, we'll see everybody tomorrow in beautiful Rotan.